Welcome to Total Football with SportsAdda. Welcome Sid, Italy all the way to the finals. Mamma mia! What do you have to say about Italians' performance yesterday and that brilliant couple at the back, Bonucci and Chiellini playing together?
An amazing performance by both teams. We had spoken yesterday about how the Spanish team needs to get the team that played Croatia and the others, and not the one that turned up against Switzerland. And we saw that yesterday. They were an extremely attacking side. They had around 70% possession compared to the Italians' 30, which is remarkable.
Yeah.
But resolute defending by Bonucci and Chiellini and the entire Italian team. 2 goals, nothing to separate them. But I have to say, again, finishing was the thing that got Spain down.
Yeah.
They weren't able to get the goals. That gamble of getting Oyarzabal instead of Morata did not work out for Luis Enrique. But because they had all the possession, all the attack, they kept the Italians on the back foot. But the finishing was missing. And even when it came to the penalty shootout, the Italians came out on top. But you could see from the pressure, Chiellini was laughing, joking around, while Jordi Alba was just straight face, not able to laugh and take in the moment.
Yes.
You could see the pressure was on him after those performances in the last game. And, the Italians took it away.
Chiellini was much more relaxed, if you have to say, compare it that way. He was much more relaxed than a Jordi Alba. And you could see it on his face, just like you said. But also just to point out, in the 2018 World Cup as well, they were knocked out by Russia, the Spaniards, and they lost on penalties there also. So I feel that, penalties is something that they need to really, work on, because it's actually a tactic. Okay, penalties is a part of football. You need to have a specialist penalty taker, like probably a Jorginho in Italy. So something like that is what they need. And you saw yesterday how Italians won it. They were very composed. After the first miss by Locatelli, I myself was very paranoid that what would happen now. Is it Spain in the finals? But in the end, it was Italy. And Federico Chiesa, like father, like son. His father also a World Cup finalist and a winner, I think. And he also has and like son, he replicated it. And what a fantastic goal from him.
True, extremely well taken goal, and that is expected of him. In the start of the tournament, I expected him to keep starting, but Bernardeschi got the start, and he's got his place and well deserved. He has chipped in with the goals, and he has won the trust of Mancini, and he's most likely, if not, to start in the finals as well.
Fantastic, and in the first 30 minutes, it was seeming as if he would be substituted. We saw Berardi warming up in the 25-30 minute on the 30-minute mark, and I was surprised myself that what's happening. But then Chiesa really proving all his critics wrong, especially his coach. And for one, Mancini was really happy at the end of the game after getting that result, and he was very relaxed and relieved, because when Morata came in, the attack suddenly shifted and Spain were looking even more lethal. And he didn't start. That was a bit surprising to us, wasn't it, Sid?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said. That was a gamble on the part of Luis Enrique, going with Oyarzabal in attack. But fine, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe he must have thought that the Italian side would set up thinking about Morata and going for a more pacey person in Oyarzabal. But Morata proved his worth. He came in, got the goal. Unfortunately, in the penalty shootout, he missed his spot kick. But that attacking threat of him is there. So whatever's said and done, it's all in the past. They have to move on. The Spanish side needs to learn from this and probably, as you said, concentrate a little more on practicing penalties.
And we didn't see any Adama Traore as well. That was a bit surprising to me, given the fact that Italians are not the quickest of defenders, if I may say. And Adama Traore, we all know he is the fastest man on those out of those 22 players for sure. And he wasn't picked, and he didn't get a chance to play. That was a bit surprising to me. But in the end, a lot to look back to for Luis Enrique, and hopefully a lot more for Mancini to look forward to. So, quickly moving on to the first game, the only game I may say today is England versus Denmark. Now, Sid, to join us on this brilliant game, we have the English fan who's going to be chanting "It's coming home." So please close your ears if you don't like it. It's Dhruv. Welcome, Dhruv. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Yash. Hi, Siddharth. Thank you for having me once again.
How are you? You think it's coming home?
It truly is. I think after the last game, I think it truly is.
Yes, you could have been more. You could have been more. What do you say, Dildar, and said that Ukraine are losing it by 3 or 4 goals. You all were very, very narrow and very, composed and said 2-0, just 2-1, 2-0. Your predictions were very, very slow and very short.
I didn't want to get too excited too early on. I thought let's wait till the final. Let's actually come home and then celebrate. Therefore, I went with the 2-0 prediction.
So, Sid, you look at this fixture, Denmark versus England. You know that Denmark, they deserve to be here with the type of football that they've played. After losing the first 2 games, they've won 3 back-to-back, and now they are here. You think that this is a very big chance for them, and an outside chance to really shock the world and come to the finals?
Actually, I won't say it's an outside chance, because as Schmeichel said in his interview yesterday, he was actually asked, "Do you think it's coming home?" And he replied very cockily, "Has it ever come home?" Because they are the 1992 winners. They actually have won it before. Okay, it's not that they have an outside chance. They have won it before. They can do it again. And the way they've been performing, you can't rule them out. While England are strong in defense, resolute, they did get goals in the last match, but the Denmark team isn't someone that you can take lightly now.
Now, Dhruv, quickly just countering his argument here. You think that Denmark has a chance here, or do they really don't stand a chance against this England, talent powerhouse?
If I have to be realistic, everyone stands a chance. It's on the day, it's how the team performs on the day, right? And if you talk about Denmark, the way Denmark have been performing, they've shocked us all, right? So it's possible. But what I know is going to happen is this is Denmark's end to the run. It's going to finish now because from your England is going to take over and ensure they reach the finals.
Spoke like a true English fan out there, yeah? Spoke like a true English fan. Now, speaking of England, you guys, I'll tell you, Harry Kane and Harry Maguire, okay, both the Harrys here, the Chamber of Secret and Prisoner of Azkaban out here, they both are amazing. You look at Harry Kane, the way he has, he scored the goal when he really needed it, his team needed it. Okay, so you think that he has peaked at the right time and he's in that form right now, with the Premier League, Golden Boot and most assists, everything, on the back of his experience just now in the recent past. You think that this Harry Kane is really going to be a tough opposition for Denmark? True, firstly.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, after the first game, everyone had doubts about Harry Kane. Just his body language after the first game had doubts in many eyes, saying, "Is he up to the challenge? Is he gonna make it?" But after that, he got the first goal, and after that, the confidence has only increased, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, Harry Kane's been the player, is gonna be one of the key mans for England, and I think it's gonna show even today when he performs. I'm definitely he's gonna get one goal for sure.
Exactly, and the winner goes to the finals. Playing Italy in the finals, getting into finals is another big thing. You'll play at Wembley at the home ground if England qualifies. So it's going to be fantastic. Okay, this road to final, we've seen a lot of upsets. We've seen some deserving teams get here. Sid, in the start of the tournament, after a couple of games, we both were very, very skeptical whether, Harry Kane should get another game. He should be dropped. You've got a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You've got many more players. Rashford is out there. Jadon Sancho hadn't got a start till then. So you think that we have been proven wrong, and Gareth Southgate in the end, जो करता है सही करता है भाई.
Let's see. We know Southgate does experiment with his lineups. Okay, he does make those incremental changes. Now, how he sets up today will be very important, because I think again he's going to go with Harry Kane up top. That goes without saying. Absolutely. Sterling on the left. On the right, who is the one that starts? Saka was performing brilliantly. Grealish again. But I think Dhruv will agree with me that he used Grealish as a super sub. But Sancho in the last game was phenomenal. I think he was the person who made that difference in the game with his direct running and slick passing. But a lot of onus will remain on Harry Kane, as we all know, to get the goal, because this Danish side has been resolute as well, and they are an attacking force. So they'll probably take the game to England today.
And Sid, you spoke of Denmark and we spoke of England and goals, but you have to talk about Denmark and Kasper Dolberg. the way he has played in this tournament, he has really filled the shoes in the absence of Christian Eriksen. He has played really, really well. He's got 2-3 goals here for his team and got the goals at a very crucial stage. Okay, so you think that he is going to be the player to watch out for when it comes to players like Harry Kane and Sterling's in English side? This is the guy in the Danish side, and he's going to be the player to watch out for, Sid.
Yes, Kasper Dolberg is definitely one that the English defense will be keeping an eye on, and that is again where I think Southgate has a headache. One is who starts out on the right, and the other is which formation does he go with. Does he revert to a 3 at the back, which he did for the German game, or does he remain with the 4-4-2? Now it depends on how he deems the attacking threat of the Danish side. We know they are attacking. Before Spain scoring those 5 goals in continuous games, it was the Danish who set the record with 4+ goals in 2 continuous games in the Euros. So they have the goals in them. They have that ability to get past defenders, score the goals, take their chances. That is the most important thing. If you're a Spain, have 70% possession or more and not able to get those goals, it doesn't make a difference. But this Danish team takes their chances, and that is where the threat is. So the English defense will have to be highly alert today.
So, Mr. It's coming home. What do you think, Dhruv? Do you think that Dolberg is going to make that difference today, or Stones and Maguire have other plans?
I think definitely I agree with what Siddharth has to say. Dolberg has, it's a fact, right? He's done so well. He is the man to watch out for. We have to make sure that the Danish attack is in control. Now, I think 2 players we know who have done well for England, but we never spoken about it. We only speak about the defense or the attack. I think the 2 players are going to be instrumental in ensuring players like Dolberg, Braithwaite, Højbjerg are in control, are going to be Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips. Their role in today's game is going to be very crucial, is how they control not just position play for England, but also when the ball is with Denmark, how do they sort of man mark and put enough pressure so that the Danish side panic and lose control of the ball, and the supply is not even reached Dolberg. So I think that's going to be very crucial.
Yes, and they are the unsung heroes of this English side. If you speak of the 4-2-3-1 that they play, the 2 in the midfield, the CDMs or the DMF, whatever you call them, they've been really detrimental in where England is today. And Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice have been box-to-box players. They've been going up and down and throwing in those dirty tackles. So, not wasting any time, I need to speak about Harry Maguire here, because, the first couple of games he didn't start because of his injury concerns. He wasn't going to play the Euros, some said, but then he came in and he's kept, 7 clean sheets in a row. Now, England keeping 7 clean sheets in a row is not something that you see every day. English side is known to be a good side, competitive side, but if you look at the clean sheets that they've kept, good teams out there, Czech Republic, Croatia, Austria as well, and Germany. So you think that, finally England are, have gathered themselves together, and now they can look at a much bigger goal. After these Euros, they can look at the World Cup and they can look at, performing really well out there as well. Sid, firstly.
They have to concentrate on the now. World Cup is obviously at a later thought. But, this defense is something that can win them the Euros. See, they have an extremely good advantage right now. They're playing at Wembley. There was only 1 game which they played away. And, they have the home support continuously. And even today, it will be the difference probably in how they play. Because your home crowd puts the pressure on the opposing team. Even on the referee, if you see.
Yeah.
But, this defense is going to be something that will help them along the way. Whoever they face. The German side is not someone who you can take lightly, or any of the other teams that they've played. But they've still managed to keep 7 clean sheets. And, if they can manage to do that today as well, I don't think there's anything stopping them from going to the finals.
Dhruv, do you concur? Or what are your thoughts on Harry Maguire?
I think it's not just, Harry Maguire as a player. What I like about him, he's young, he has a leadership quality. Like when he's on the pitch, he has a presence, right? And that adds to the balance of the English team. What I like about the English team, when you talk about the 7 clean sheets, right? What has happened is, at least the last 3 clean sheets, which is part of the Euros, they have a really well-balanced defense. And all the 4 defenders also play for the top English Premier League teams.
True.
So
That's true.
they deal with pressure day in and day out. So they have the knowledge, they have the leadership skill set, and the result shows that not a single goal in the last 7 games. So I think that's going to transpire, and it's going to happen today as well. It's a really well balanced side. You have Shaw and Maguire who play for Manchester United. You have Walker and Stones who play for Man City. So I mean, it's a really solid defense and wing backs who provide solid attack. We've seen Shaw. He's been instrumental in the goals. He's given 1 or 2 assists. So that's really helpful.
Fantastic.
But Dhruv, an unsung hero, and you can agree with me over here, is Jordan Pickford. A lot of people before this tournament started were actually asking for him to be benched. But he has come in and proven himself. What would you say about that?
I actually agree, because I was one of those English fans who didn't want to see Pickford start. I thought Johnston or a Henderson should start. But you're right, the couple of saves he's made in this tournament, I think he surprised many of us.
Yes. And Gareth Southgate always believed in Pickford. Since the time that he's been, put in charge, he has been making sure that Pickford is the number 1 keeper and not anyone else. You had a Joe Hart, you had other options as well, like Ramsdale and Dean Henderson now. But he went for Pickford, and he always has backed him. So now he's paying dividends. So we all can safely say that yes, Pickford was the right choice, because Gareth Southgate is in such pressure that he's got a backup and a talented backup for every position. You've got 3 or 4 great right backs. You are in a dilemma who to play. You've got Luke Shaw, Ben Chilwell out there. In the midfield, you're benching Jordan Henderson. On the wings, you're not starting a Grealish or even a Sancho. So there are a lot of talking points if you look at, if you criticize Gareth Southgate at that, because he has made some bold decisions. But quickly moving forward, what about the Danish defense? They've got Christensen and they've got Vestergaard as well. Vestergaard plays for Southampton. He's this tall guy, and he's very influential when it comes to those corners. He's the one who is the marquee player, if I may say, for the Danish defense. So you think that today Vestergaard will be tested to his limits, because he's never played, the best English side. He's played City, he's played, Chelsea in the Premier League, but playing this English side with the power and the ability that they have, you think Vestergaard is going to be under a lot of pressure today?
So, Vestergaard will be under pressure, no doubt about it. But in their defense, they go with a 3-man defense. They have Christensen, Kerr, and Vestergaard. 3 very imposing centre backs over there. And Kerr has been an amazing leader at the back. I think there was a little bit of an injury concern, but he should start today. But these 3 are very imposing, and they have stopped some of the best along this tournament. And even in their club days, Vestergaard, fine, he plays for Southampton, doesn't have probably the best centre back pairings with him, but he has proven himself in the league. He has faced Harry Kane and Sterling, on a regular basis. The same can be said about Christensen, because he plays for Chelsea. Maybe Kerr doesn't have that experience, but he has played for some of the biggest clubs in the world, like AC Milan. So you can't say that they do not have the experience. They are imposing centre backs and with a lot of experience. And I think they will give a tough, stance to the attack of the English team.
And the English attack, Dhruv, the man to watch out for is Raheem Sterling. Okay, a few years ago, people used to literally write him off, saying that he's overpriced, he's not good, he's not talented enough. But today, 5 years down the line, he's won a couple of Premier Leagues, the Champions League finalist, now in the semi-final of Euro, scoring 3 goals when his team actually needed it. You think that this man has really stepped it up and has become one of the most talented midfielders that England have produced in the last 10 years? Dhruv?
If you think about it, like what's happened in the Euros, right? Like you mentioned, Southgate has a tough job. There are so many midfielders. He's the only one who's been in Southgate's lineup consistently, and he's performed. Like everyone talks about the last few games, Harry Kane stepping up and scoring, but he's been instrumental in providing those assists. He started the goal scoring, so took the burden of initiating the first couple of goals for England, and
Correct.
Not just the goal scoring or the assists. He's also been involved in the goals, like the open play. So you're right.
Yeah.
I think he's been the instrumental player for England this tournament. Everyone is going to talk about just Harry Kane, but I think he's been the driving force for this England team, doing every bit.
Yes. And Siddharth, quickly a question for you. Head-to-head comparison, if you look at these two teams, England have had a line-sliding victory over Denmark. Okay, out of 22 odd games, they've just lost 4 times. So you think that with all this in their favor, then currently keeping 7 clean sheets, like we just mentioned, it is England who have the upper hand here, and they have been playing brilliant football. So you think that it could be England's night tonight, Sid? Oh, I think there was some internet issue here. Dhruv, I will take this question to you first. Okay, now that you're the only one on this panel left, you think that this is England's night tonight, given the fact that the history backs them, the present scenario is backing them, and the fact that they are much more, not reliant on each other. They're a very good unit now. They've made sure that they're having that faith on each other. You look at Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, just like you mentioned, the unsung heroes of this English lineup. You think that England are ready? They're ready to get it home, at least to the finals first.
I mean, I agree on the latter part, not the former, because the history is not going to make a difference, right, to what's going to happen today, right? But I agree with you on the latter part where you mentioned that this time England, after a really long time, they have a fixed squad, right? The fixed starting 11, a well-balanced team where your defense and your 2 defensive midfield players are intact, and even your strikers intact, and Sterling is intact, right? Then it's about shuffling certain players, right? So yes, I think this is a solid team which is ready to face Denmark today and also go ahead and face Italy in the final if they make it through.
And reaching the finals of a Euro, it's never happened with England. They've reached a World Cup final. They've won it once in 1966, if I'm not wrong. It was long back. And since like 40-50 years, these English fans, people like you who have been growing up and supporting England, it has been a very difficult task and a very painful task of being an English fan. That Lampard disallowed goal to getting knocked out in the World Cup semi-final against Croatia. So you have a lot of hopes tonight, and I'm really sure that England will come out victorious here. But just to make sure, a couple of points. You think that the Danish substitutes or whoever they have on the bench, they've got a Poulsen, they've got Brathwaite who's playing out there. You think that these players are good enough to compete at this level? And I mean, don't get me wrong here, they are definitely talented enough, obviously. But when you look at the English side, when you look at the English bench here, they've got a lot of talent on the bench. But similarly, if you look at the Danish bench, they don't have that much experience. When you look at only the experience column, there's not much experience in the Danish defense, in the Danish subs. So you think that today that will be another character test, because you need to, in these games, are not sure if they will be decided in 90 minutes. It could go to extra time, it could go on to penalties. So these players need to step up. So the mentality also matters, and English have that and Danish don't.
I think the Danes, I mean, what could work for them, it's on the day, right? They have nothing to lose, right? For them, even coming this far is a lot. And just the way Danes are, you saw Switzerland, France, right? Everyone thought France are going to make it. But Switzerland, it was Switzerland's day. So in the end, it matters whose day it is. If today it's the Danes' day, then the experience of England, their clean sheets, none of that is going to count. And the way we're forgetting one player in the defense, their left back, he's been instrumental in, creating chances for Denmark. So I think before the bench strength, I think what Denmark are going to try and look through is try and finish it in the first half and the second half of the game and not take it to extra time so that they don't have to rely on their bench.
Correct. And we have not mentioned Højbjerg as well. Højbjerg has been so influential for Denmark. He's given 3 or 4 assists, and the position that he plays on, it's a defensive midfielder. So being in that position firstly and giving assists is a very big thing. And on top of that, tonight he'll be playing his Spurs teammate Harry Kane. There's going to be a fantastic contest between these two. I hope there's no love lost between them and there is a bit of a tussle, because that's what football is all about. Quickly wrapping it up, Sid, firstly I want to know your predictions today. You think it's England is coming home, or is it Denmark just having that upset, and just seeing that upset on Dhruv's face is happy enough for you?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to be looking for. The Danes to help me see that little upset on this man's face over here. But the English side do have a lot of experience in them, and they will be an extremely attacking force. But I think the Danish side are extremely motivated at this point, and they know they can get through anyone. And with the experience that they have, winning this, I think Wembley will be a tough place for them to come, but I think they can hold it, maybe go into penalties and win it there. But as Dhruv rightly mentioned, they will try and finish it off in regular time.
Fantastic. So any predictions for the score line? Sid?
So I think it will be a 2-1 win for the Danes.
2-1 win for the Danes. Fantastic. Spicing it up. I know, Dhruv, you don't concur to his prediction, but still, I would want to know what are your predictions for this game? 6-0, 7-0. Go as extravagant as you can.
No, I mean, I would like to go with optimism, but I also have to be realistic. I think I'm going to go for a simple 3-0 win for the Three Lions.
Simple enough, yeah? 3-0 win for the Lions. 3 Lions, so 3-0 win. Okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And, just to look at that, Kasper Schmeichel, the son of Peter Schmeichel, who has already won a Euro in the 92. So, could be that, father and son both have won it. I don't think it's ever happened in the past. This could be the first time if Denmark go through and if they ever have an outside chance to beat Italy. That also could be a possibility here. And people are very optimistic. Denmark have a great side. England have the best side. If you look at the last few years, they've had one of the best sides. Tonight the team that's going to be playing. It's going to be a fantastic contest. 3-0 and a 2-1 Danish win prediction we've got here from our two experts. If there is anyone out there who can really give them, a pain in the head, please comment on our channel. And thank you so much for joining with me, Dhruv, Sid. All the best, Dhruv, for England. I hope it comes home. I hope that Harry Kane gets another goal to his tally. And Sid, let's just hope that Christensen doesn't win the Ballon d'Or. Yes. Thank you so much for joining with me, guys. It was fun to have you.
Thanks, Yash.
Hopefully, I'll see you in the finals as well, Dhruv. Hopefully, I'll see you in the finals.
Yes.
Okay, Sid. Thank you, Sid. Bye, guys.